Absolutely. First one is call to order.
Okay, meeting is called to order at 5:37.
Number two, public
Continue.
comments.
Do we have any, Andrea? Anyone connected in public comments?
No public comments.
All right, thank you. Let's go on.
Number three, approval of minutes of September 2nd, 2020.
All right, Andrea sent us all of that by email. If everyone has read it, I hope. Let's call for the question and ask if you would like to approve the meeting minutes for August.
I call it Rodriguez, motion to accept
Any
the minutes as submitted.
Okay. Colleen, that was you?
Yes.
Who made the motion? Okay, Colleen. And the second?
I'll second, Jesse.
Okay, we've got a second, Jesse. Then call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Elsa.
Aye.
Elsa.
Okay, it sounds like we have majority. So the motion passes. Let's go on to the next meeting minutes, which were not actually minutes because we didn't have a quorum. So it's just September discussion. Call for the question. All in favor of approving?
Aye.
Aye.
Elsa.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? If no one is opposed, then the motion carries to accept them as discussion. Mr. Walls?
Item number four is discussion and possible action of A, drug and alcohol use prevention activities.
Okay, do you have that?
I can talk about the opioid overdose prevention training. That's coming up. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for those of us who can see it. I'm going to go ahead and send this to the group tomorrow morning via email. Basically, good morning. Please be advised that the Texas Overdose Naloxone Initiative will be offering a free virtual training on opioid overdose prevention October 28th from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. Please share this with staff so that they may register. And once you go ahead and sign up for this meeting, it's a 2-hour initiative. It's a great little training. I took this last year, and last year before COVID, they actually came to the health department, and very nice gentlemen. They did some great work, and they provided that that benefit, the naloxone, for anybody who did attend, and they taught the attendees how to use that in order to prevent loss of life. So I highly encourage anybody that wants to take this training to go ahead and do it. I'm more than sure once the training's over, there'll be some sort of link so that you can get that product mailed to you.
When is it?
October 28th.
October 28th from 1 to 3. It is 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It is a virtual training.
It's online.
Okay.
Yes. And it's a Zoom,
All right.
so we're forced to use we're forced to use WebEx because that's what the city pays for, and this is my WebEx account. I asked for Zoom. They're like, well, we have a contract with WebEx, so I got WebEx. But
must have been the cheapest.
I think what they did was WebEx, which is a Cisco product. They provided 6 months at no cost to municipalities.
Oh.
Something like that.
Okay, that did it.
So that's what I have for the drug and alcohol use prevention activities, which is also the announcements.
Is there anything else that anyone has for October?
I would like to bring up the pregnancy, I guess, rehab, because when I was going through that with my daughter, I didn't have anybody that told me that there was anything available except that after the baby was born so that they could take the baby away. So obviously that's not the point. And there's a NAS program at NAS so that the baby and the mother could detox together and keep the family together. So maybe we can discuss that next time. What to do to help.
I did send it in, Elsa. I sent it in to Councilman Torres, and he sent it. They had to send it to the legal department before they can let us know if we can try to get it in Laredo.
Okay,
It's in the
perfect.
works.
Can I give some,
They're
can I provide some historical perspective?
All right, go ahead, Elsa.
This is Jesse. The state of Texas provides and used to provide funding for, it's called Specialized Female Residential Treatment and Outpatient Treatment. And historically, in the past, Laredo actually had specialized residential treatment for adolescent females that were pregnant or postpartum, had babies, and the women lived there with their children, and they got all their therapy there. That program was defunded. Then after that, that was at SCAN. We had that program at SCAN for about 3 years. And then that was when we had the detox there too. And we had the male residential and all that. Then after that, Stacata had specialized female treatment service for pregnant postpartum women. And that was an intensive outpatient program. And obviously the detox residential component is not there. And it was not there. And that it would provide the clients about 20 hours of therapy. Now, when Stacata folded, I think SCAN picked up the specialized women intensive outpatient program. The thing is, and I don't know if anyone from SCAN is here, but if the thing would be to explore if the state of Texas is still has money for specialized female services, residential services, because that would be a way to prevent children from being separated from their mothers, because all the young women that were in the WHEDIS program, which is specialized female services, all of them were CPS cases. And so those programs, women that are pregnant, postpartum, that have drug addiction or heroin addicts, that's primary population. I'm sure that the state has it. I haven't really, I've worked on federal grants more recently than state grants, but I guess I could look up in the next month to see if there's still funding available to see what could be done. And then I think the spearhead would have to be to work with SCAN, try to see if we could help support them get some funding.
Right.
I
had to go to San Antonio to do it.
Right.
I had to go to San Antonio to get that done, and the baby's been there for a month. Will be discharged or over a month on Saturday, but so we have to be going back and forth to San Antonio.
Yeah. Is it a state funded program?
Yes.
Okay, so then the state still does have that. We just don't. That's one of the sad things. Go ahead.
It's called NAS. NAS.
Okay. One of the sad things that we've always fallen through the cracks here in South Texas. We've been underfunded for many different areas, and that's why we're doing this whole detox residential. So anyway, that's just some historical background.
That's great. Well, in San Antonio, Elsa sent me the information, and it's held under the methadone program over there.
That's how my daughter found out about it a little bit too late while she was in the methadone program here in Laredo, and then got COVID and couldn't go. And so hopefully there could be that type of program together. They work with Methodist Hospital and University Hospital over there, so they have to work along with the hospitals.
Yeah.
That's going to take some doing. So I'll contact Councilman Torres and ask to see how far along are they, what are they doing with it. And I'll let you know next month. And thank you, Jesse, for offering to look up something.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Walsh,
we can send you the information for NAS to Jesse.
Okay, go ahead and send it. You've got his email on the email you got today.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Walsh, what's next?
Next is the update on the detox facility.
Oh, great.
So I guess from the perspective of the detox facility, you all know it's a joint venture between Webb County and the city of Laredo. Um, I believe they're at the final points in approving the design, but of course that is the county. The city itself has moved forward on this project amid the giant budget shortfall that we had because of the situation that we're in. The city has hired an outside consultant who will be with us every step of the way to ensure that the process is done properly and accurately and that we get the biggest bang for our buck. So we're very excited to have this outside consultant with us, and that's basically going to ensure our success from the city side once we get the facility. So that way we can get it up and running.
Okay. Well,
Can I
let's
ask
hope that they're
who is the consultant?
All right, I knew you were going to ask that. Let me get the consultant's name, and I'll get it. I'll find out right now. I'll say it before the end of the meeting.
And I already got the information on NAS. I was looking it up. I already have it on my desktop.
okay. As long as it's moving along, because start to worry like what happened last time when this was all going on, that there was elections and new people came in and they hadn't been a part of it and it fell apart. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that too. I think we're further along though than we were.
Right. To be honest with you, we faced a real challenge when COVID struck because that basically took all the funding sources out of the city. But this administration has a very big dedication to this project, and they would not have hired this consultant had they didn't feel 100% in favor of it. And I'm sure that consultant is not cheap.
Probably not.
I'm sure not. Huh. We could have hired Jesse.
Monday?
We could have hired Jesse.
No, because I do this as part of the board. It would be unethical for me to do that.
Yes, it would
And
be.
you got me already, and I'm sure the consultant is very, very good. I just was wondering.
Okay, well, we'll run it all by you to make sure it's all done correctly.
Yeah, it's best too. He has the experience.
Right. Okay, Mr. Walls, anything else?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I switched my computer to look for that name of that consultant. Let me move back. Be right with you. Hold on. Okay, the next topic is work group reports.
Are there any reports from the work groups?
Not for mine yet. That's transition living. I don't know about anybody else. What's going on with the rehabs? Are they open? Are they closed? Are they operating yet?
Well, we haven't, Gerardo and I and other people have looked at since right before the COVID. That was our last meeting right before COVID, the first Wednesday of March. But, and I don't know if you're asking if there's other programs that are open here in the state of Texas in the region. Yes, there are.
In Laredo specifically.
But in Laredo, I do know that we have a residential program. And their capacity is probably full based on what the knowledge I have. The ones that are run by SCAN.
Okay. Well, that's good. At least something is still open.
Oh, well, we have all the outpatient services. We have a lot of outpatient slots, and unfortunately, outpatient is carrying a big load. They're carrying people that ought to be in residential services. So, between SCAN and Pillar and AMA, who does a methadone, we have a lot of outpatient slots. We just don't, and we have some residential slots. We just don't have the detox that we really sorely need. And the people are detoxing in jail, just like we talked about. We still have that heavy average 25% heroin users coming to a number of the different programs we have.
That doesn't sound good, but that's what we've got. Okay, Mr. Walls?
After the reports, its announcements, I already covered the opioid overdose training.
Yes.
And then after that is adjourn.
Does anyone have any announcements from your groups? From your work groups, from all the extras from the city, SCAN, Pillar, et cetera, everybody who's helping? Okay, it sounds like we don't. All right, then I need a motion so that we may adjourn at 5:52.
I motion. Elsa?
Okay, we have a motion from Elsa.
I second.
We have a second from Jesse. Call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next month.